this spiritual thing happened to me that my spirit was literally lifted. I don't know. I couldn't explain that. I actually put it in one of my songs. It's called Limitless Journey. Because I had to write it down when this happened to me. I wrote it down the same day because I didn't want to forget. I knew that that's something unique and it's not going to happen every day. I wrote it down and then I put it in a song. It's called Limitless Journey. And when that happened, as I said before, God talked to me and he said, this is your mission. This is what you need to do. Just be present, show up and receive what I'm going to give it to you.
Yes.
These are going to be your songs. This is your journey. And I swear to God, I mean, I don't know how I write this. I've written 51 songs so far.
Wow. 51.
I haven't been a songwriter until 2.5 years ago. It just happened. But as I said, God wanted me to just show up and receive.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to this episode of License to Live. My name is Dr. Jarrett Patton, and I'm your host for our journey together today and every day you choose to listen to this show. If you or anyone you know has been dissed by the healthcare system, please invite them to join us along this journey. Just go to your favorite podcast player and subscribe to Licensed to Live. And while you're there, please rate this episode and give me honest feedback so I make sure I provide you with the most up-to-date information about career and life changes. You guys know when I say dissed, I mean disengaged, like, this medicine thing isn't what it's cracked up to be. Too much paperwork, too many insurers telling me what not to do. I don't even have enough time with my patients. Dissatisfied, like, I just don't feel like I'm living up to my full potential. This career simply isn't fulfilling. Disgruntled, like being a doctor has taken too much of my life away. I'm in debt up to my eyeballs from school, and now they want how much more to continue MOC? Or disenfranchised, like I was when I had my medical license temporarily suspended. Today, I'm so excited to bring Queen Kat on the show. She's a physician, a prolific musician, a fitness expert, and she has a story to tell today. So we'll learn more about Queen Kat and her journey into medicine and way beyond with her career today. Welcome to the show, Queen Kat.
My pleasure.
We are so happy to have you here, not only as a physician, but as a musician. And as always on License to Live, there's so much to learn from everybody. We can't wait to hear your story. So tell us about what made you want to become a doctor from the beginning.
I always wanted to know about the human anatomy in the first place. When I was growing up, I always wanted to know, what is going on with the whole anatomy of the human, how it works. And that has always been interesting to me. And I always wanted to be in the position to help people. So those two things that, made me think of becoming a doctor that can fulfill those two things that I had in mind growing up. I was smart and I chose medicine and I got into school and I finished it, and I practiced as a doctor for 1.5 years after finishing school, which was very rewarding, helping out people to become better, and even like helping out, saving a lot of people's lives. And that made me feel really good about what I was doing. I've always been doing research, even when I started medical school. When I got into medical school, I always wanted to get involved in innovation and research and do something new, discover something new. And I was writing manuscripts, and I was an author since the age of 18. Like professionally, I was publishing in medical journals, and I published many over 20 articles and globally in international medical journals in different fields of medicine. And I really enjoyed it. I've been told that I'm a very good writer and author, and I actually have 3 to 4 first author. I published manuscripts in medical journals, accredited journals, and I was getting scholarships from different conferences in Europe. I traveled throughout Europe, and I presented my research. That was really something that I really enjoyed doing it. And after all, I decided to go back to clinical medicine and become a doctor and go to residency. And I always wanted to become a surgeon when I was in medical school. And the reason I wanted to become a surgeon, because I always liked to be active. I just didn't like to sit down in the office and just prescribe for patients, and that was kind of boring to me. So I'm like, I really wanted to do something, like use my hands, and that's why like surgery was on the top of my list. And I did research, University of Washington, and I did research in Stanford, surgery departments, and also plastic surgery when I was in Stanford. I published manuscripts with Stanford, with faculties and residents over there, and I enjoyed it. We presented our research in conferences, and I was preparing also for USMLE exams. I passed step 1 and 2, and after all, I applied for surgery, but I didn't want to apply for anywhere but California and New York. So it was pretty competitive for me. Like it was really hard, like to apply. And also I made a mistake that I applied for plastic surgery and general surgery at the same time, like at the same the same hospital, which is not a good thing. You don't want, because they're not really good with each other. Plastic surgery and general surgery, you have to apply only for one of them. But anyway, I mean, I wanted to, I just didn't see myself going anywhere but New York City or California. But that didn't happen. And I actually got a few interviews, but I actually didn't get the position. But I applied for a Master in Public Health in Johns Hopkins, and I immediately got in. So I studied Master in Public Health in Johns Hopkins for a year. I finished it in a year, and I actually didn't do much with that degree, but I got into fitness after that, and I just felt like, the fitness life is just fascinating. And at the same time, I was doing a lot of other things, like I was getting to modeling and also dancing, so also like Latin dancing.
Credentials verified.
So you're a woman of many talents, obviously, because you've had this long and esteemed medical career and research career and obtaining advanced degrees. But then at the end, you said, okay, well, I didn't go into surgery. I didn't match there. And unfortunately, a lot of physicians match or maybe even don't match in residency every year. And right. I know I've been in a lot of groups and I try to encourage people on Facebook and sometimes so I want a lot of you fire starters to be listening to this story, because just because you don't get into the residency of your choice, or you can't even get into a residency at all, or you don't match, it's not the end of the world. You have to look within, you have to look externally and find your other interests. And as you hear, Queen Kat already knew from that point, she said, all right, I'm going to go get my MPH. I'm going to work on that. But you know what? I really like to do some other things. And it sounds like fitness is one of them. And obviously your career as a musician has spawned even more so since then. So tell us a little bit about what you were feeling and what happened with you at the time when you didn't match and the time you decided to go start a career doing something different. And even if that was fitness.
I mean, I didn't match, but I mean, I don't look at it as a failure.
Yes.
I felt like that was something that was supposed to happen. I mean, I consulted with my friends who were already surgeons, and they told me, Sarah, you don't want to become a surgeon. For a woman, it's a lot of work, and they already warned me that I will be exhausted because surgeons during residency they do not get to sleep. They do not get to sleep more than 3-4 hours. And this is going to be continuously like for 6 years in a row. And so they already told me that this is going to, age me fast. I'm going to age fast. And I'm going to I'm going to burn out because they knew me personally that I wanted to have my life. Like I wanted to do stuff that other than hospital, other than just being in a hospital. And I actually did rotation at UCSF for a month. I did the general surgery, and I saw the residents that they literally didn't have life. Like they were working for 14 hours per day, if not more, 16 hours per day. And I mean, it's great if that's the only thing you want to do in your life. I mean, that's awesome. That's I would say go for it. If that's the only thing you want to do in your life, do it. But for me, like I wanted to have a life. I wanted to have like something else to do. Like I couldn't. I would get cranky if I sleep 3 hours per night for even like 3 months. Like if I did that constantly, I couldn't put up with that lifestyle. It wasn't for me. So I realized later on that that was not supposed to happen for me because it wasn't right for me. It wasn't right thing for me.
People, listen to the signs that are around you. Sometimes there are things at work that, although you keep forcing yourself down the same track, there's something else out there for you. It could be bigger. It could be better. It could be beyond your wildest dreams. So keep your eyes open.
That's right. And you have to listen to your intuition and what you feel like is the best fit for you. Because for me, because I was like, okay, I have this like skill set. I'm a doctor. I wanted to do surgery, and obviously I could do it. I just felt like the workload. I just couldn't handle the workload for 6 years. Going through all the sleepless nights. I felt like that I cannot handle.
Yeah. And sometimes you're very lucky and you figure that out early before you have a road of 10 years or 15 years down the road to burnout.
Right.
And in your case, you knew that and you said, all right, this is not the end of the world. I didn't do that. I know I could do it. But there's some other forces that are calling me to do bigger things. So how did that go? Tell us about your journey into fitness.
I always been, even when I was in medical school, I always been like into running and swimming. So I had that, I knew that I have a great stamina to, because I've been running every day for like at least 3 miles. I mean, I didn't even know that's not good for you, but I was doing it because I just felt like I love it. But I never been into like bodybuilding, or I didn't even know how to do it. I was going to gym and I didn't even know how to use any machine or what to do. So I was totally like rookie. Like I had no idea, what to do. And I came across a trainer who was a martial art trainer, and he introduced me to some workouts, and he taught me how to use weights. We used to work out with each other for about a year. So, he motivated me a lot. I should give credit to him. But then, I had, motivation in me. I mean, he was just a booster, basically. But I always wanted to know how to do it, how to become really disciplined, and how to adopt the lifestyle, the fitness lifestyle, because it was really fascinating to me. And then I didn't even think about competing on anything like that until I saw a couple of my friends, they started competing, and I just felt like that's going to be a next level for me. And I hired a coach, and I started competing, and I became a national qualified in both bikini and figure in NPC, IFBB. But I didn't even use any unnatural supplements. All I used was all natural. Even if my coaches told me, take this or that, I was like, no, I'm not going to use any unnatural supplements. So I tried to do it naturally, because I was like, this is going to be my lifestyle. I have to be able to maintain it for the rest of my life. And, and now this is like the time that I enjoy my life, because I don't have to bust my ass at the gym six times a week. I just do it a few times a week, and I can keep, maintain my physique forever, hopefully.
Yes. Well, that's using your medical knowledge for yet another passion and another gift that you've had.
Yes, I think that was really helping me as well. But I feel like this is very different. People think it's all physical, and that people think that if you get to work out, and in order to achieve that healthy lifestyle, you have to kill yourself at the gym like every day, and it's all about lifting weight and physically training yourself. But that's not true. It's all mental, and And if you get that right, you don't have to go to the gym every day. I don't go to gym every day. I just sometimes I just go like once a week, but I still have the same body. Why? Because I know what to do, because I'm smart enough to. I mean, I through experience throughout the whole trial and error, I passed it. Also, now I have the experience of knowing what works and what doesn't work, and how all the tricks you can do to trick your body. I mean, it's just a whole different world, but I love it.
Well, you clearly love it, and I know you started a business line with training around fitness and everything. So I'm adding all of those links to the show notes, all you fire starters out there, so you guys can check out her fitness program, and what she has been doing as well out there. So make sure you check Queen Kat out on her fitness journey as well. So I know that I'm excited to talk about Queen Kat. I've heard your music on SoundCloud. I know you've been working hard, and music has been a passion, I'm sure, since you've been a little child. So tell us about your journey into the music industry.
So as I said, I've been singing, I've been recording myself since I was 6-7 years old. I had a tape recorder. I was recording myself. Like I had tapes. I had tapes since I was, when I was 11, 12 years old. My parents just brought it for me. Like I converted to digital, and I have it all. I was singing. That has been in me. I just never knew that it can become my career one day. And I've been singing at parties. I've been singing cover songs, and people had told me that I have a talent, but I just never took it to the next level because I didn't have my own songs. I felt like I look at myself. I look less as an artist if I don't sing my own songs. If I just wait for somebody to write songs for me and I sing that. Like, I feel like I should have my own songs if I want to become an artist, if I want to become a singer, basically, because I didn't know that I can actually become a songwriter. That was something that, that I didn't know I have it. And that happened 2.5 years ago when I was preparing for the last step of medical board exam. I was going to get back to residency and I was going to become a sports medicine doctor because I really didn't know what to do with my life. I was like, okay, I did this fitness thing, that this is great. And I launched my own fitness business, but I just don't feel like I want to train people or I just want to design plans for them for the rest of my life. I can do better. I can do more. I can impact lives way more than this. But I didn't know how, but I was like, so maybe I should just combine the medicine and fitness. And okay, so the only thing I could do is, becoming a sports medicine doctor. So I was going that route. And I was like, okay, so I have to go back to medicine. I have to start residency. Only 2 weeks before my exam, this spiritual thing happened to me that my spirit was literally lifted. I don't know. I couldn't explain that. I actually put it in one of my songs. It's called Limitless Journey. Because I had to write it down when this happened to me. I wrote it down the same day because I didn't want to forget. I knew that that's something unique and it's not going to happen every day. I wrote it down and then I put it in a song. It's called Limitless Journey. And when that happened, as I said before, God talked to me and he said, this is your mission. This is what you need to do. Just be present, show up and receive what I'm going to give it to you.
Yes.
These are going to be your songs. This is your journey. And I swear to God, I don't know how I write this. I've written 51 songs so far.
Wow. 51.
I haven't been a songwriter until 2.5 years ago. It just happened. But as I said, God wanted me to just show up and receive. And this is my homework. I have to just show up.
Show up and receive. I love that. It is. And your song entitled Limitless Journey. I mean, come on. That's it. You are on a journey and your spirituality, your messaging from God said, this is what I want you to do. And you just show up and receive. I love that. I want you guys all to hear that. Sometimes you just have to show up and receive. Thank you for that, Queen Kat.
No problem. I mean, that this is a message from God. And every day I feel like I ask God, okay, so what I should do now? Because I feel like this is totally out of my control. I started going back to church when this happened to me. And I was crying all the time. Like when I was at church, I was in the choir singing solo and also with my brothers and sisters. And it was just, for me, like I was crying the whole time because I felt like whenever I think about that, what happened to me, it was good and it was scary at the same time because everybody wants to know why I decided to go back to church. I couldn't answer because I just started crying. And I'm like, I don't know why. I just felt like I have to get closer to God because this happened to me. And everybody's like, no, it's okay. They felt like they thought I'm depressed and this is just for me to recover or something. I'm like, no, I'm not depressed. This is a good thing that happened to me. But the people do not understand it because, they don't know what's going on. Like, I didn't even know what's going on. Like, how people know. To me, it was really good. It was a good experience, even though I felt like I was dead when this happened. Like, I felt like I was dead. But that was good. It was like I'm floating and in a space and I was getting closer to God, but at the same time I'm not on the earth. Like I was dead. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it was definitely one of the kind experiences that I had. But I wanted to be there. I didn't want to come back to earth. I wanted to stay up there.
That is extremely powerful. Just to know that feeling, you can't even describe it to words, but it was the draw, it was the power. And again, it kept you on this limitless journey of going on and serving people in all different types of ways that you had never really dreamed of. Although you had a passion for music since a young age, you wanted to become a doctor from a young age. You have the gift of athleticism and fitness, which you were able to go through. And so again, just to use your words, showing up and receiving and going on this journey has been something that has been both spiritual, it's been fulfilling, and you can't even put it into words. So this road that you have been on is an incredible journey. You've touched thousands and thousands of people through your various works, and you've written 51 songs, which is amazing. So what kind of projects do you have going on now? What's coming up next for Queen Kat?
I'm still creating. I'm still making music. I mean, it just happened to me. Like every other day, I come up with a new idea and come up with a new song, and then I have to compose it and arrange it, and then go to studio and record it. I'm going back to studio on Monday to record another song, my new song, and I'm still in the creative phase, but I have to start making connections and start performing. So my plan is to build my fan base basically, and start performing and take my music off the ground, my music career.
That's awesome. I think you're going to gain a few fire starters in your group too, because listening to your story, listening to your passion, it's infectious, and people are going to want to know more. And hey, I wouldn't be mad at you if you wanted to drop a few bars here on License to Live. I'd let you go with it. Well, where can people find out more about you, Queen Kat?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. My Facebook is actually my real name. It's Sarah, Sara, Miri, Miri. And my Instagram is KQueen Kat, K and then Queen and then KAT. And also my SoundCloud, the same, KQueen Kat.
And I will have all the links in the show notes for you folks so that you guys can check out her music, check out everything that she's offering, because she's really built a name for herself with some spiritual guidance and just good fortune. So she's been doing it all. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience today?
Believe in yourself and believe in God. That's two things that I can say. This is my motto. Believe in yourself and believe in God.
Licensed to Live.
Believe in yourself. Believe in God. What more can I say? Thank you, Queen Kat, for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
This has been a wonderful experience, and I continue to wish you the best of success as you continue on your journey. And anytime you want to step back into License to Live for an update, you have an open invitation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was great meeting you virtually.
Remember, fire starters, if you or anyone you know has been disengaged, dissatisfied, disgruntled, or disenfranchised with healthcare, please invite them to join us along this journey. Simply go to your favorite podcast player and subscribe to Licensed to Live. And while you're there, please rate this episode and give me honest feedback so I can make sure I provide you with the most up-to-date information about career challenges and life changes. And in between episodes, I hang out a lot on LinkedIn. That's where I met Queen Kat. So check me out there anytime at Dr. Jarrett. See you next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, no one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.